In the Bible, Jesus has many names and titles. But if someone were to ask you what Jesus most commonly called himself, what would you say? Jesus? Christ? The Messiah? The Son of God? Well, actually, Jesus usually calls himself the Son of Man. And as we'll see, he uses that title for a very important reason. Hi, my name's Greg Robinson, and we've been looking at walking with Jesus Christ. This is the first of a 4-part series on Jesus Christ, the man. In this video, we answer the question, why did Jesus call himself the Son of Man? Let's start with a verse from John's Gospel that uses the term the Son of Man. John 5, verse 27 says, "And he," that's God, "has given him," and that's Jesus, "authority to execute judgment, because he is the Son of Man." John is telling us that God gave Jesus the authority to judge mankind, because he is the Son of Man. What did he mean by that? Why does that give him authority? Let's go all the way back to Genesis, where God created mankind. In Genesis 1, verse 26, we read, "And God said, 'Let us make man in our image, after our likeness.' He made people with the ability to learn to be like God. And he says, 'Let them have dominion. Let them rule,' he says, 'over all the earth.'" God's plan was to have humans govern his creation for him. And Adam and Eve were the first. But that didn't work out too well. We know what happened when Adam was given the choice whether to follow God's direction or his own desires. He chose to disregard what God told him. Instead, he followed the ideas of the serpent, and sin got in the way of what God had planned. Really, Adam proved to be unfit to rule God's creation. Thankfully, that wasn't the end of God's plan. God said, "Mankind is still going to govern my creation for me. But I'm going to need a man that will follow my directions, a man that I can teach to be a faithful ruler, who will not listen to the serpent's thinking, but who will instead overcome sin. He will be the one who will put my will over his own." The Bible calls this man the Son of Man. Ever since that time, the world has been looking for the Son of Man to come, to take charge, and to save the world. To put it simply, the title, the Son of Man, is a title that refers to the man who will be the ruler of God's creation. Years after God's creation, the prophet Daniel had a dream, a prophecy about the Son of Man. And in his dream, he saw a man going up to heaven and sitting down at the right hand of God. We find this in Daniel chapter 7, verse 13. It says, "I saw in the night visions, and behold, with the clouds of heaven there came one like a son of man. And he came to the Ancient of Days. He came to God and was presented before him." Daniel's vision prophesied that the man Jesus Christ, after his crucifixion and after his resurrection, would be presented to God. The verse continues, "They brought him near before him." It's telling us that the angels brought Jesus Christ into the presence of God for the first time. And then it says, "And to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom one that shall not be destroyed." And Daniel's prophecy is being perfectly fulfilled. God gave the Son of Man dominion. He made him the ruler of his creation. It's working out just like God had planned it to, way back in Genesis chapter 1. Now, I think that's spectacular. So when Jesus calls himself the Son of Man, he's saying, I'm the one who God is preparing to rule the world. Let's look at one more verse that shows how Jesus uses this title, the Son of Man. Matthew chapter 26, verse 64. At Jesus' trial, the high priest asked Jesus if he was the Christ, the Son of God. And Jesus said to him, "You have said so. But I tell you, from now on you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven." Jesus is referring to what we saw in Daniel chapter 7 about the Son of Man. He's warning the high priest that he is about to go to the right hand of God to be given dominion over all of God's creation. That he is about to become the judge of all the earth. Can you feel the power of Jesus' words? Why then did Jesus call himself the Son of Man? It's because Jesus is the Son of mankind whom God has chosen to rule his creation. And no man could be better for the job. In our next video, we look at Jesus' role as Savior.